Good evening, my friends. It looks like you've tracked me down in my lair once again. I'm just kidding, guys. It's DemonDriver here. It is good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. And tonight I want to do a Airbus update video on my two Airbuses, my Airbus A300 Lufthansa B4 model, circa about 1974-75, and last but not least, my Airbus A310 Pan American. Let's have a look at these planes and just give you guys a little update on how they're doing and how they're coming along. Okay, well, let's start off with the Airbus A300 of Lufthansa. And she's 7 feet long, exactly the same dimensions as the American A300 that I built about 7 or 8 years ago for a customer, except the wings are a little bit more scale, which means they're a little bit smaller. The customer wanted me to exaggerate the American Airlines A300 wings slightly, so I made them about 10% larger in wing chord wise. But this will fly, you know, just about the same. The classic navy blue stripe running down the fuselage. I'm going to add windows to that. This whole fuse tube from here all the way back to about the beginning of the tail curvature was all Mod Podged, and then I put a spray. It's kind of like a chemical that you use. They use it in auto body and automotive uses, and it's kind of like a paint adhesive. It helps paint stick to a surface, and then I went over that with a white primer coat, and then I then used a high gloss appliance paint, and as you can see, it gives you a really just a smooth finish, highly reflective, as you can see. Nose, and let's start off here. On all of my new RC Airliners, all of my 7 new RC Airliners, was actually more than that. I've actually as well there's probably about 15 coming, but there's about 6 or 7 of them. I'm trying to incorporate a removable flight deck section. Okay, and the reason being that I want to have a removable nose section for 2 reasons. I want to have a scale flight deck inside here with 2 pilots, instrument panel, everything that would be removable. You can take that out, and then what I want to do is I want to be able to take one of my many Fat Shark systems, FPV systems, and stick an FPV camera and a receiver, transmitter, down inside. You know, this will be back up in the antenna will be back up inside the fuse, but the camera will be sitting basically in the left seat, in the captain's seat, and I'll have a pan and tilt so I can actually pivot the camera, and I'll have a head tracker so I could actually move the camera around and get an actual pilot's point of view in the nose of the A300. Do the same thing with the A310, and also have the ability to put a 4K like a Sony action cam in the nose and then record a flight through the actual, you know, through the flight deck windows. So I want to do that, and that's going to be a fun feature to add into my RC Airliners and start doing that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the wings here. Now, what I've done is I cut away the leading edge of the A300's wings, which was balsa, and here it is actually. And what I'm going to do is, here's the leading edge, a balsa leading edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have fully functioning slats. Fully functioning leading edge slats, droop slats, that are going to come down and deploy for takeoff and landing. Come down like that. And it's just going to add another degree of flight performance and more lift to the wings, make the wings more efficient. So that'll be added in. Okay, let's look at the trailing edge of the A300's wings. I've cut away all the control surfaces. Outboard flap section, inboard aileron, inboard flap, and I'm adding something that the A300 does not have. A300 and A310 do not have outboard ailerons. They only have the inboard aileron. They only have the inboard aileron and the spoilers to initiate yaw or roll, depending on, And then I'm going to have flaps. So fully functioning flaps, inner and outer ailerons, inner flaps, and air brakes. I'm going to have air brakes that are going to lift up, lights, strobe lights, basically a fully functioning A300 wing with everything that the A300 wing has, with exception to an addition of an outboard aileron just for control purposes. Yeah, so here she is, and from the rear, 7 feet long, and I'm going to basically put in full all gear doors, working gear doors, strobe lights, all the flight controls that the real A300 has, with exception of the addition of outboard ailerons that the A300 or A310 do not have. Twin 80mm EDFs, lots of power. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how she's turning out. And I'm going to have one surprise detail, one surprise key scale feature in all these RC airliners that's never been done before, that these planes will have, that I have not disclosed to you yet. But and sitting up above these two airliners, I have my old 707, PanAm 707. I'm redoing the paint scheme on that, bringing it up to make it look a little bit better. Put more powerful 70mm EDFs on her. And then I have right above her Norwegian 737 MAX 7 just sitting there, 7 feet long. You can see the size difference between the older 707 and the 737 MAX 7 there. Definitely out of scale. So I'll do a dedicated video for all three of my new 73s that I'm building. That'll be the next video. And here we go. My favorite of my Airbuses, my PanAm A310. Here she is. Basically, the A310 is just a shortened down fuselaged A300 with slightly different engines and a different, a thinner wing in its wing chord, slightly thinner. That's basically the big difference between the A310 and the A300. Let's take a closer look here at this girl, at this European girl here. She's going to have a removable cockpit section, just like the A300, FPV capable, so I can stick a camera inside there and fly her via camera. This is the exact airliner that I Mod Podged in the last video. This is it. And you can see by via of the finish how well it came out. I mean, I have to admit, it came out pretty well. I'm very happy with the overall fit and finish on this girl. Let me move back a little bit here. I'll give you guys a better overall view. So she's coming along really well. I'm happy with this plane. I'm happy with how it looks. This plane is going to be very, very powerful. Twin 90mm EDFs right here. Dr. Mad Thrust EDFs. Very, very powerful. Putting out about 6 to 7 pounds of thrust each easily. So this plane is going to have tremendous power. Tremendous power. I think PanAm in 84, 85, maybe 83, when they first started to acquire the A310 and A300, went with the big flash paint scheme where they got rid of the old traditional stripe where they had a two-tone, white gloss and then chrome underneath. They went with the big high-impact livery with the big PanAm. They were one of the first airlines to adopt that livery so that the plane became a billboard. Now, with the Airbus A300 and A310, this works. Now, with the I never liked the 7.4 in this paint scheme. I never liked the 7.2, the 7.3, or any of their other airliners that they donned in this high-impact livery. I never really went for them. I never liked them. But in this, with the A310, it works. It looks really good. It's a beautiful plane in this livery. I've always loved it. So the next step, obviously, is I have to start adding the windows in, doors. This plane will have strobe lights, landing lights, gear doors, cockpit kit, fully functioning slats, leading edge slats, flaps, air brakes, main gear doors, and like the A300, it's going to have a special secret feature that I don't think any other RC airliner has ever been given yet, and I'm going to add that in. So yeah, she's coming along really well. I'm really happy with how the finish came on this A310 and the A300. Very, 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 very pleased and happy. So yeah, this was the A310, A300 update video. These RC airliners are coming along really well. I'm hoping to have the A300 maiden first, probably in about, I'd say within 2 months, and then this girl, this beautiful A310, not long after that. Next video, I want to do an update video on the 3 new 73s I'm building, and then I will probably do an update video on the new BAC 111s I'm building, an American and a British European Airways BAC 111, and then I have about at least, I don't know, maybe another 5 airliners coming right after that. A lot. I got the Japan Airlines 880, that's coming along real well. Actually, here, take a look at the latest status and latest work on the Convair 880 Japan Airlines. Take a look at this photo. See, it's coming along. I mean, getting the wing covering on it. I got the rising sun on that girl. I'm putting the leading edge slats on it. Here are the leading edge slats on it. So it's coming along. It's coming along. If you like RC airliners, this might be a channel you might want to check out. Trust me, I'm going to have a lot of RC airliners flying and maidening once they get done. And you can see in this video, they getting done. And wait until you see the next video with the status of the 3 new 737s. You're going to want to hang around for that. As you can see, I got 2 Airbuses that are coming along, and these girls are going to be flying before you know it. All right, DemonDriver here. As always, I'm honored to have you guys here, and God bless. Bye-bye.